Imagine moving through life with the deep-seated conviction that every challenge you face, every failure, every heartbreak, every setback is not a punishment, but preparation. That these trials are not here to break you, but to shape you, to awaken a greater version of yourself that perhaps even you haven't yet fully met. This isn't just an uplifting idea meant to decorate a motivational poster. It's a powerful truth rooted in an ancient philosophy that has endured for centuries, Stoicism. This wisdom teaches that life will not always go your way, but what always remains within your power is how you choose to respond. When you start embracing this truth, your perspective shifts. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and begin to view them as stepping stones toward growth. You begin to challenge yourself more boldly, asking that powerful, disarming question. Why not? Why not pursue your potential? Why not rise to the occasion? Why not choose courage over comfort? This simple question has the power to unravel years of fear, self-doubt, and stagnation. It pushes you out of the small boxes you've settled into and invites you to expand. And this is not about reckless ambition. It's about conscious, deliberate living aligned with your values and highest self. The Stoics believed in a concept called prokopton, a lifelong commitment to being a work in progress. It's not about being flawless, but about being intentional. It's about showing up every day with a hunger to improve, to refine, to learn, and to live in accordance with virtue. When you embody this mindset, you're not chasing external validation. You're cultivating internal excellence. You give everything your all, not because someone is watching, but because you understand that wholehearted effort is an act of character. Giving it your all means being fully present, fully committed, fully alive. It's about putting your entire heart into what you value, your craft, your relationships, your personal growth, not as a chore, but as an act of self-respect. It's not just about what you do, it's how you do it, with intention, integrity, and depth. And when life inevitably throws distractions, temptations, or setbacks your way, your path remains steady, not because it's always clear or easy, but because you've anchored it to something deeper. You have a North Star, your values, your principles, your purpose. And though life may call for adjustments along the way, your commitment never wavers. Even more liberating is the Stoic wisdom of releasing attachment to outcomes. You begin to understand that results are never truly in your control, only your efforts are. When you live from this place, you are no longer at the mercy of success or failure. You are free to give your best, free to grow through the process, and free to find fulfillment in the very act of striving. The reward is not just what you achieve, but who you become in the journey. And at the heart of it all lies one powerful truth. The world reflects what you embody. If you walk through life consumed by fear, resentment, or bitterness, your experience will mirror that energy. But if you choose to embody courage, kindness, discipline, and virtue, your world begins to shift in ways both subtle and profound. Life becomes a mirror, and your inner state becomes the architect of your outer experience. So don't just aim to attract better, become better. Not for applause, not for status, but because that's the essence of a life well lived. In the end, you don't just get what you want, you get what you are. So rise, refine, and reclaim your power. One choice, one challenge, one moment at a time. Cultivate the virtues that speak to your soul. Whether it's the courage to face adversity with calm resolve, the perseverance to stay committed to your goals despite obstacles, or the compassion to treat others with kindness and dignity, even when it's difficult. Understand that the pursuit of virtue isn't about perfection or never stumbling. It's about self-awareness, about aligning your actions with your highest principles, especially in moments of struggle. It's about returning to your values every time you falter, learning from your missteps, and continuing your journey of self-betterment with humility and resilience. By internalizing the wisdom of Stoicism, you begin to understand that while life's circumstances are often beyond your control, your response remains yours and yours alone. You hold the power to shape your inner world, to choose your reaction, to define who you become in the face of what happens. And as you live more intentionally, more rooted in virtue, you'll notice a transformation not just within, but all around you. The quality of your thoughts, your choices, your energy, these begin to shape the world you experience. So reflect on your life's challenges, the big ones that shook you, and the small ones that tested your patience. And imagine if each of them carried a lesson, a hidden invitation to grow stronger, wiser, more compassionate. The Stoics taught us not to fear obstacles, but to embrace them as necessary paths to growth, believing that within every hardship lies the seed of equal or greater transformation. It's not the difficulty itself, but your interpretation of it that defines your experience. When you stop seeing problems as punishments and begin seeing them as possibilities, you step out of victimhood and into empowerment. You reclaim authorship of your story. So start asking, what can I learn from this? How can this moment make me better? When life weighs heavy, take small steps forward, because every monumental change begins with a single choice, a simple action repeated with purpose. Progress doesn't demand grandeur. It requires consistency. In doing what little you can, again and again, you begin to craft the foundation of a life that reflects your deepest values. And along this path, let go of society's shallow definitions of success. Stoicism teaches us that true success is found not in titles, wealth, or applause, but in the strength of your character, your integrity, your reason, your courage, your kindness. The real victory is living each day with purpose, knowing your actions are guided by principle, not popularity. And when the world pressures you to conform, to please, to seek validation from the crowd, resist. Approval is fleeting and living. For others, acceptance can become its own kind of prison. Instead, anchor yourself in authenticity. Trust your inner compass. Be brave enough to say no to what doesn't serve your higher self, not out of defiance, but out of reverence for your time, your energy, your purpose. Let your boundaries be an act of self-respect. And when things don't go as planned, when results fall short, when people misunderstand you, practice indifference not as apathy, but as wisdom. Let go of what's not in your control and double down on what is, your attitude, your virtue, your effort. That's where your power lives. You can care deeply without clinging. You can strive without obsessing, and in that balance lies peace. So walk your path with steadiness and grace, knowing that everything you seek, clarity, fulfillment, purpose, is found not in chasing the external, but in cultivating the internal. Life becomes richer, not because it gets easier, but because you get stronger. And as you embody this philosophy, you don't just study Stoicism, you live it. You become it. And through your example, you inspire others to do the same.